This is the Mannin Line on location.
Faster Mike, good afternoon. Welcome to Mannin Line live at Castle Rushen High School from now through till 1 o'clock. Talking to the students in years 12 and 13. Every year we go to every high school a couple of times just to hear what the students are talking about, what's important to their lives. You may be surprised, you may be intrigued, you may be infuriated, but this is what today's voters, and remember, over the age of 16, they're allowed to vote, and the future taxpayers are thinking on Mannin Line at Castle Rushen High School today. With Alicia and Ruby and Tom, Ben, Jacob, Sacha, Amelie and Lizzy. I want to go to Lizzy first of all. So you are the hardest working student
thank you.
in the building, is that right? You work 6 days a week and you go to school?
Yeah.
And you travel from Baldrine to Castletown? Yeah. Why do you work 6 days a week? Well, apart from the money.
I drive.
From the money.
Yeah, well, I drive, so I have to pay for my petrol, which is obviously a lot coming down from Baldrine. Yeah. And my insurance, and then tax and everything else that comes with the car.
Yeah.
I buy all my own food and stuff, mostly for dinners. My mum and dad we split it. I'll add my own bits in for what I fancy.
Right.
And then for my school lunches and stuff, I prefer to have a packed lunch, so I buy all my own stuff to make that, which is...
Where do you work?
So I work at Robinson's on the terrace during the week, and on a Friday and sometimes a Saturday night, I work in the Nag's Head pub.
The Nag's Head where?
In Douglas.
Okay.
On Victoria Street.
And how long have you worked on the terrace?
A year and a half, maybe, yeah. And I've worked in the pub for just about a year. Okay.
How do you find the public? On the whole, polite, or they have their moments?
I think I deal with nicer people in the pub, and considering they're drunk, that says a lot.
Interesting as well. Do you work, Amelie?
Yes, I do.
What do you do?
I work at the Abbey restaurant.
In Ballasalla?
Yeah.
Okay. Waiting on tables or washing up?
Waiting on tables.
Okay. And how do you find that?
Really nice. Everyone's actually quite polite there.
Why do you work?
Kind of the same reasons as Lizzy. I have a car and I drive too. And I just like to have my own money to do things that I like with my friends.
Did you pass your test first time?
No, second. I only passed mid-December, so still quite fresh.
What did you fail on the first time?
It was down a one-way road. I was turning right, but I went to the left side because I actually didn't know it was a one-way road. But I didn't tell the examiner that.
Okay. Do you drive, Sacha?
I don't. No.
Are you taking lessons or anything?
I'm not yet, but I'm on a few lists.
Okay. Lists? Why? You're waiting to get a driving instructor?
Yeah, I've been waiting quite a while.
And again, people may not understand why you have to go on a list to get a driving instructor. Why is that?
It's just because there's not really many driving instructors, but there's a lot of people who really want to drive, so it's quite difficult.
Okay. So are you learning as well? Are other people teaching you to drive? Are you going out in somebody else's car?
I've been out driving with my mum. I have my own car, but I just need to get a proper instructor.
Right.
It's quite stressful.
Are you in year 12 or 13?
I'm in year 12.
Okay. So are you looking to university at all? Or is it too far ahead?
I've been looking into a few universities, but I haven't probably done a deep dive yet.
Okay. Leisha's with us as well. Leisha, you're in year 13, is that right?
Yes.
So university is going to be this September, is it? Or are you putting it off?
Well, I've deferred, so I'm going to stay on the island next year and then hopefully go to uni in 2026.
What will you be doing for that year?
Just working. Yeah.
Do you work at the moment? Have you got a part-time job?
Yeah, I work in the Salt and Swing restaurant at the Castletown golf links.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
At the golf links?
Yeah.
When are they going to do that hotel up on the other side?
I have no idea. They started painting it a few months ago, but...
It looks like a Banksy, doesn't it?
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. And again, there's some sort of dispute between two landowners, I understand.
Something like that.
Yeah, okay. Do you play golf yourself?
No.
No.
But you're so in there. Ruby was with us. Ruby was with us last year as well, Ruby. So I want to ask you, in the south of the island, and quite a hot topic, is the Eristane wind farm.
Yes.
And the proposal to put wind turbines in the south of the Isle of Man. Any thoughts?
I think that it does destroy the natural habitat, and the amount of pollution that the building of them is actually going to produce is quite bad. And the natural scenery as well. It's such a beautiful part of the island, and I think with so many more natural resources like tidal energy and wind energy further away from the island, that could perhaps be more of a beneficial solution.
I mean, the people who propose sustainable energy say that it's give and take, swings and roundabouts. But when we put wind turbines up, it's going to affect somebody, but we'll get clean electricity, they say. Any thoughts on that?
No, not really. Sorry.
No. Okay. Anybody? Let's talk to Tom's with us as well. What do you think about the proposal for wind turbines?
I'm not quite too sure. I haven't read much into it, but from being down south and hearing everyone's opinions, it's not a positive. There's not much positive feedback from what I've heard. You play rugby, don't you? Yes, Southern Nomads. Southern Nomads. What position do you play? Second row. Okay. And you're in year 12. 12 as well. Have you got any thoughts on a career at all? Not at the minute. I'm just weighing up my options, seeing where to go next. But as Sacha said, I've not really done a deep dive for. And Ben's next as well. You're year 12 as well, aren't you, Ben? Yes, I am. Who knows? Who knows? There may be a new school here sometime, but not before you finish it. Well, it's been in plans for ages, hasn't it? But I don't know what's happening with it, really. Oh, it's been forever. It's been, but they didn't say that when you joined Castle Rushen High School. They didn't say there was going to be a new school, did they? No, but it's been like, whilst I'm in school, it's supposed to have been built by then, like they said ages ago, but obviously it hasn't. So. Oh, I mean, and again, everybody seems happy here. What's the school like in itself? It's not falling to pieces. No, absolutely not. No, it's a good school. Yeah. But I go to QE2 for ICT as well, so I know other schools. And how does that work? Do you go on a bus or make your own way? Yeah, we have to get the bus. We have to get the bus there and back, which is a bit of a pain, but. And why do you have to go to Peel for ICT? I'm actually not too sure. I just don't think there's anyone who knows the A-level course at our school. Okay. Jacob is next. Okay, you're year 12, aren't you, Jacob? Yep. Okay. Do you play a bit of rugby, don't you? Or did play a bit of rugby?
Now and again. I want to get back into it, but, school, busy. Yeah, okay.
How do you find Castle Rushen High School, by the way?
It's a nice school. It's small, than the others. Like a tight-knit community, you could say. It's nice.
How much support do you get from teachers?
A lot of support. I mean, they're there if you need them, really. They're nice people, so it's not too bad. Yeah.
And do you take school lunch?
I do, yeah, now and again.
What's the food like?
The real question's here, yeah. It's nice, it's all right. Some of it's not as good, but, yeah.
So do you drive?
Learning to drive, yeah.
Okay. And what are your thoughts on this wind turbine?
Oh, the wind turbines. I say we shouldn't be blemishing the island with the wind turbines. We've got all that water, all that sea, and we're putting them on this tiny island. Doesn't make sense to me personally.
So you think they should be offshore rather than onshore? Yeah. Well, again, many people ask that question. We could have lots offshore, and there was a thought that it was either going to be in the north or the south, but it's going to be Eristane. But I mean, in terms of sustainable energy and green electricity and what have you, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a good idea, but there's not enough people who kind of wanting to go along with it or like really dedicated to it. So it is a good idea, but there's always going to be someone who's like, don't like it. So,
Okay. Let me. Sacha, are you on social media, Sacha?
I am, yes.
Can you tell us which ones you're on? Instagram, Facebook?
I'm on
X?
Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
But I don't really post anything. It's just.
You're just a watcher. You're not a poster.
No, I'm not. I'm not a creator.
Who do you follow?
A lot of people, but mostly just my friends.
Yeah. No famous person.
Not from the top of my head.
Okay. Amelie, are you on social media?
Yeah, I am. I'm on most of them, I'd say.
How much time do you spend on social media?
Well...
When that screen report comes in every week, what does it say?
Well, my most recent one, 3.5 hours I average a day.
Yeah.
So when you think about it, it sounds like quite a lot, but compared to loads of my friends, I feel like it's actually quite low. Because I know there's people in school that spend 11 hours a day on their phone, and I just think it's insane.
That's not true. Not 11 hours.
It's true.
There's only 24 hours in a day.
I know, it's crazy. But, I mean, that's also using laptops, so it could be for schoolwork and stuff, but still 11 hours on a screen is quite a while, I think.
Okay, and what do you spend most time on?
Probably TikTok. It's like a black hole, TikTok. You just scroll once and then it's forever and ever.
And Lizzy, are you on social media?
Yeah, I am.
How can you have time? You work 6 days a week and you're at school.
I don't really. So I have it, but I don't have TikTok anymore. Like Amelie said, it's a black hole, so I deleted it a while ago to get out of the thing of using it. I have Snapchat, but I don't really use it. So I scroll on Instagram a bit and Facebook, but I mostly just use iMessages to talk.
Do you ever watch television?
Not really. I like watching documentaries on the weekend, but I don't like watching movies anyway, so I don't spend much time.
Is that on television itself or on YouTube or
mostly
what?
on Netflix,
right.
But sometimes they have some things on like BBC. I like watching David Attenborough's Blue Planet.
Okay, do you have Netflix and Amazon Prime and what have you?
I only have Netflix, but like I say, I don't really spend much time watching it.
Okay. Ruby, what did you think to the American election?
So I really disagree with the outcome. I think that convicted felons within the US do not have the right to vote, yet they can be elected as president. And I think that Donald Trump, shouldn't have been allowed to run.
What do you think of his policies?
Well, I know that he's ended the birthright policy, and it's leading to deportation of so many immigrants, illegal and now at this point legal, but obviously he's changed that now. He's left the World Health Organization, or is planning to, which I'm not too educated on, but I know that's something he's planning to do. And in his last campaign, the overturning of Roe v. Wade, which led to, I think it was a 7% increase in infant mortality. So I just think some of the
policies... That was the abortion case, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah. So I think some of these policies that he's coming up with are just either empty promises or detrimental to the American public.
Why do you think so many people voted? I mean, he won quite by quite a margin. Why do you think so many people voted for him?
I think it's a lot to do with empty lies and empty promises that he sort of threw out, and I think there was... Whether people said there was quite like a prejudice against Kamala Harris for being a woman, for being a woman of colour. So I think that sort of swayed a lot of Americans.
Did you follow the election closely?
Not closely, but I definitely kept up to date with it.
I mean, do you think Joe Biden would have done any better than Kamala Harris?
I really don't think so, no. I think that lots of people in America didn't like Biden. He didn't do much, and I don't think he's all there. I feel quite bad for him.
Alicia, did you follow the American election at all?
Yeah, I sort of kept up to date with it.
Okay, and what do you think about Donald Trump?
I don't really like him or agree with anything he's done or says.
Okay, do you follow Manx politics at all? Who's the Chief Minister? Okay. Ruby, who's the Chief Minister?
Alf Cannon.
Okay. Tom, who's the Treasury Minister on the Isle of Man?
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Okay, in that case, Ben, who's the Treasury Minister on the Isle of Man?
No, I wouldn't be able to tell you either. No.
Jacob, who's the Treasury Minister on the Isle?
Not me.
Okay, certainly not you. Sacha, who's the Treasury Minister?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay, Amelie, who's the Treasury Minister?
Not Jacob.
Okay, and Lizzy, who's the Treasury Minister?
I'm not sure, sorry.
Okay, it's Dr. Allinson, Alex Allinson. Who's the Education Minister? Leisha, who's the Education Minister? Ruby?
I know her last name's Christian. Is that right?
Not the Education Minister.
Education.
That's the Health Minister.
Oh,
okay.
Daphne someone.
Daphne someone. Okay. Tom, Daphne someone. Any advance on Daphne someone? Ben, any advance on Daphne someone?
Nope.
Okay, Jacob?
I definitely have to say her first name is Daphne.
It is Daphne, yes. Daphne. Sacha?
Yeah, I really don't know, honestly.
Amelie?
Nope.
Okay, Lizzy?
No, sorry.
You should get this. She's your MHK.
Williams.
Daphne Kane. Daphne Kane is there. So I'm guessing, who follows Manx politics? Anybody follow? You see, gone are the days when Archie was here, who knew it back to front. Who's met a Manx politician? Anybody here has met a Manx politician? Nobody. Have you?
Well, yeah.
Who did you meet?
Ewan Watterson.
Ewan Watterson, MHK for the South, Speaker of the House of Keys. How did you meet him?
I don't know. I think he had I think his child was in my primary school.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So, does Manx politics mean anything to you? Do you follow Manx politics?
Not close. Well, no, not really, no.
Yeah.
No.
It's interesting. Has any Manx politician ever been to Castle Rushen High School while you've been here and addressed the students here?
Yeah.
Well, not you, obviously, but Ruby, who's been here?
Jason Morehouse comes in.
Okay. Of course, he was a teacher here.
Yeah, so
years ago.
he comes in for quite a few of the school events, and so does Ewan Watterson.
Okay.
But other South ones we don't see at all.
Okay. Sacha, have you ever met a Manx politician?
I've met Ewan Watterson.
Right.
Kind of the same as Ben. We both went to primary school with his child.
A Watterson child, yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you know anything about Manx politics? You are entitled to vote in Manx politics. So, you've got a very valuable thing. People have fought and died for the vote around the world. You've got a vote on the Isle of Man. Do you follow it at all?
I wouldn't say I follow it. Like, I hear about things in the news and I do listen in, but I wouldn't say I follow it closely.
What have you heard?
Oh, I can't really remember, to be fair.
Somebody mentioned the fact that, let's go back to Castle Rushen High School. We were talking about the fact that nothing has been built for Castle Rushen High School. They've spent over £3 million on professional services, architects, advocates and consultants, and yet nothing has been built at Castle Rushen High School. Amelie.
We had a couple of outside buildings built, and I'm not sure if you knew about it, but
no.
Just over a year ago, we've got 2 outdoor classrooms just outside the back.
What, permanent ones or temporary
permanent
ones?
They're like, are they temporary?
Sacha, are they temporary?
They are temporary.
Are they temporary?
Yeah. They're like little mobiles.
Right.
Like a classroom.
Do you use the swimming pool?
I used to.
Right.
I don't anymore.
Okay. Does anybody swim here? Anybody use the swimming pool? Because they were talking about closing the swimming pool down, but it's been given a reprieve. And didn't they used to use? There was a tuck shop there, wasn't there? There was a cafe and what have you.
So they actually closed down the cafe.
Did they?
Yes, they've replaced it with 2 vending machines, which does get a lot of use from the school children.
But when the cafe was open, did people from the school go to the cafe?
They did actually, yeah. It was Year 9 students and above were allowed to go to the cafe.
And did many go?
I think quite a lot did, because Year 10 and up can go into Castletown, but for the Year 9 students there was you could have the canteen or nothing. So I think going to the swimming pool cafe was actually quite a good option.
So do you use the swimming pool at all?
Not really. My sister swims for the Southern swim team.
Right.
And I think it's something like 77 of the island records are held by Southern swimmers. Not sure what that's out of, but it's definitely a large proportion. So I think that cutting funding and stuff for that really wouldn't be.
Now, you play netball, don't you?
I play netball.
Who do you play for?
I play for Simcox.
Right. Okay. And how long? How long have you played netball for now?
I've played netball since I was about 8 or 9, and I've only been at Simcox for a year and a half now.
Simcox, that's a sponsor, is it?
Yes.
Whereabouts is it based?
So we train on a Monday night at Castle Rushen and a Tuesday night at the NSC.
Okay, and you obviously enjoy netball.
Yeah.
What are the PE facilities like at Castle Rushen High School? Do you actually have a PE lesson here?
Not when it comes to 6th form, but through Year 7 to Year 11 you have compulsory games and PE lessons, so you sort of are always involved within sort of physical activity here. But recently actually the girls' changing rooms flooded, which is a big problem obviously with the school and how it's not really fit for purpose, and how I think plans...
Have they dried out?
I think so. I just know that my sisters are in year 8 and they sort of had to wade through a big puddle of water and then they closed it, the changing rooms. So I think that the state of the school really isn't fit for purpose, and obviously if the storms and the rain is getting worse through climate change, that they really need to get a move on with the school.
Tom, have you been here since the start at Castle Rushen? Which junior school did you go to?
I didn't actually go to a junior school. I was in America and the BVI growing up. I was born in the Isle of Man, and I lived here till I was 3, and then I moved to the BVI and lived there for 6 years.
How old were you when you came back?
12.
Okay. You remember much about the BVI?
Yeah. Very sunny. Nice, very nice place. Yeah. Yeah, not much to do though, as you can probably imagine.
I mean, so what's the atmosphere like at Castle Rushen High School? Happy place?
Yes. Yeah, I'd say. Yeah, of course it's happy.
Yeah. Do you do any sport? I mean, you play rugby. Do you do anything else?
Yes, no. I just go to the gym and play rugby, but not at the minute with Southern Nomads.
People can't see you, but you are tall. How tall are you?
6'4".
6'4".
Yes.
Okay. Was that because of the BVI? Was it something in the fruit or something?
Possibly. Yeah. I'll never know. Yeah. But
right. And with university, as far as you're concerned, what would you hope to do? Or are you thinking that far ahead?
Not really, but at a time I was thinking about finance or something in that sector. But as I say, I'm not really too sure now. Perhaps in law, maybe, but I need to weigh up my options.
Good. Right. Sacha has... Sacha displayed a phenomenal ability before we came on the air, which we were talking about cracking knuckles, weren't we? And Ruby doesn't like people cracking knuckles, and Sacha's got an amazing ability to realign her spine. Is that right?
It is, yeah.
And how long have you been able to realign your spine?
Well, I started cracking my knuckles and my back as a joke because my mum doesn't really like it, and then I just cracked me back one day, and it just sounded a bit crazy.
Yeah. How does it feel?
Lovely.
It feels good.
Yeah, it does.
Because everybody says you shouldn't crack your knuckles because it's bad for you. And it'll give you arthritis in later life.
Well, my knuckles feel fine, so I've been doing it for 6 years. So.
All right. So where do you work?
I work at the Sound Cafe.
Sound Cafe. And do you cycle there and back?
No, my sister drives me down.
Okay. We tried this at Ramsey Grammar School on earlier last week about cycling. Have you got a bike?
I do, yes.
Do you cycle?
No.
Do you cycle to school?
No.
Are there cycle racks here at the school?
I think so, yeah.
Does anybody here cycle to school? Nobody cycles to school. Is it true the only people who cycle to school are male teachers?
I fear it is, to be fair, yeah.
I don't want to stereotype anybody, but it's interesting that the government here has got a big thing about active travel, in that the use of private cars is going to be phased out and you won't have a private car, and active travel, walking everywhere or cycling or public transport. So, and you are 16 and 17 years of age and nobody here cycles. Maybe the government should know about that, don't you think?
Probably, to be fair, yeah.
Do you use public transport?
I do, yes.
Okay. Is that for pleasure or just to come to school?
Both, to be fair.
Of course, the bus has gone to the Sound, hasn't it?
Yeah,
they got rid of the bus to the Sound.
That's a bit of a pain if I was trying to get down without my sister.
Yeah. And is it fun working at the Sound Cafe?
It can be fun, yeah.
What's it like in this sort of weather when it's blowing a hoolie?
It can be quiet, but sometimes quite a lot of people come in, so...
How long have you worked there?
About 1 year and 4 months now.
So you've done the TT?
I actually wasn't working last TT.
Why?
Because I took time off to spend it with my family.
Oh, right. We're live at Castle Rushen High School with the students of Year 12 and 13, and back in just a moment.
Do you know, Dave, The Q Plus counter always has just what I need. Whatever plumbing job I'm working on, whether a state-of-the-art bathroom or the latest heating system, Q Plus always help. With extensive supplies, friendly, knowledgeable service and great prices, it really is the one-stop shop for trade and DIY customers alike. And if they don't have what you want in stock, they'll find it for you. See for yourself. Just take a look at Q Plus on Facebook.
Want to find out about life assurance, critical illness cover and income protection from the experts? Worried insurance companies don't pay out? Come to Financial Options free seminar in association with Aviva on the 20th of February. Find out how much insurance companies pay out and what you're covered for. Learn about these essentials and protect your family or business. For details, visit Financial Options on Facebook. Chase Financial Services Limited, trading as Chase Wealth Solutions and Financial Options, is regulated by the Isle of Man Financial Services Authority.
Bright headlights on the road can hold you back. Holmes & Davidson Opticians present an advanced solution, our cutting-edge road lens coating. Significantly reducing glare, clarity is enhanced, driving confidence elevated. Experience safer and more confident vision. Trust Holmes & Davidson Opticians to keep you safer on the roads. Book your consultation today at holmesanddavidsonopticians.co.uk or call 676 230.
This Sunday is National Pizza Day, and here at Manx Radio we're giving you the chance to win a £30 pizza voucher to spend at Paramount City. You could be one of 3 lucky winners to enjoy delicious pizza at one of the island's hottest new pizzerias. To win, listen out across the weekend and take part in our pizza quiz question, and we'll announce the winners live on air next Monday. Celebrate National Pizza Day with Paramount City and your nation station, Manx Radio.
This is the Mannin Line on location.
Okay. In the ancient capital of Man, Castletown and Castle Rushen High School with the year 12 and 13 students. Next Tuesday, the 11th, will be in Upper Douglas at St Ninian's High School, and in March at Queen Elizabeth High School. And in the middle there, the Treasury Minister, Alex Allinson. Dr. Allinson, the Treasury Minister, will be talking after the budget. Amelie, you want to talk about the Castle Rushen High School? Just put your drink down.
Yeah, so we've got a school show coming up soon. How many weeks is it in? After half term, so not long now. But it's a lot of us are actually involved in it. We do production every year. Yeah. This year it's Sister Act, and it's very exciting.
That's the one about the nun, isn't it?
It is the one about the nun. So lots of us in nun costumes.
And who's playing Whoopi Goldberg?
Katie Rose Hughes and Safia Gomez.
Okay, so. And what part do you play in it?
My name's Elle. I'm just dancing pretty much.
Okay. Anyway, who else is in the show? Jacob, you're in. What part do you play?
I am Curtis. He's one of the gangsters.
Okay. And when are you in rehearsals at the moment?
Yeah. Monday after school, Wednesday after school, and sometimes we have Saturday rehearsals from like 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Do you have to sing?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, Jacob, I think it might be time to hear one of the songs.
Yeah, you got to buy a ticket, £5.
Okay. Can't we have 50p's worth free?
Sorry, I don't make those.
Oh,
decisions.
Jacob, see your agent. Sacha, what part do you play?
I played TJ.
Who is?
He's one of Curtis's gangsters.
Okay. Do you enjoy drama?
I do, yeah.
And who's the driving force behind drama in the school?
Miss Duggan.
Yeah? What's she like?
She's lovely.
Yeah?
She's so nice.
And who decided Sister Act, do you know?
I'm not too sure. I think it was Miss Duggan.
Are you in it, Ruby?
Yes.
What part do you play?
So I'm playing Mother Superior.
Okay. And do you sing?
Yes.
And will you sing as a song?
No, thank you.
Okay. Leisha, are you in?
Yeah, I am Mary Lazarus, one of the nuns.
Have you been in drama shows before here?
Yeah, I've done every one since year 7.
How important do you think it is to have a drama department in a school to do drama productions?
Yeah, I think it's really important to have something that supports the arts in schools and allows children to explore their interests.
Yeah. I mean, have you always been interested in drama, or did that come because of being in productions?
No, I think I've always had an interest in it. I've always enjoyed it. And then the school show just gives you a chance to explore that further, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting because you often see a different side to people, don't you? You know, during the daytime. Oh, was it Amelie or Lizzy want to talk about the atmosphere in the school? Who was it?
I think it was you. Yeah.
Amelie.
Well, I just think Castle Rushen's got a great atmosphere, to be honest. I just think it's a good thing to talk about.
You don't have to say that because the teachers are listening.
No, honestly, I actually do think it. I think because we've got so much stuff, there's always something going on, like the sports or the drama shows. We won the girls' senior teams last year. We won the treble, so the hockey and the netball and the football. So.
And which team were you in?
I was in the hockey and not the hockey, definitely not the hockey. The netball and the football. So. Yeah.
And again, who does that come from? Which teachers are driving that?
We have quite a few girls' PE teachers. For the netball, it's usually Mrs. Aston, who's an assistant head teacher here, and Miss Pate. And Miss Pate also does the hockey and the football. So, yeah, quite a few teachers.
Teachers often get a kind of rough ride about what teachers do. What do you think about how teachers perform?
I think especially the PE teachers, it's a lot for them because they don't get paid obviously to do all the extracurriculars, but Miss Pate and Miss Aston, they come in 8 a.m. on a Monday and a Wednesday and put in so much effort into our training to make sure that we have the best opportunity to do as well as we can in the fixtures, and it's very admirable, I think, from them.
And Sacha, what do you play sports, Sacha?
I don't know.
Don't
I
you?
used to.
Okay. And it was Jacob. Do you play sport?
Yeah, rugby and netball.
And you play men's netball, it's called, isn't it?
Men's netball for Simcox, yeah.
Okay, so where did men's netball come from?
It's
not been around that long, has it?
No, I mean, they only recently started putting together men's teams. Not to brag, but we are top of the men's league right now, even though there's only 2 other teams we're competing against. But, a win's a win, really.
So you're number 1 out of 3?
Yeah.
Okay, what position do you play?
I dabble, I play a bit here, a bit of wing attack, a bit of goal attack, wing defence.
Okay, and for the uninitiated, what's the difference between netball and basketball?
Well, biggest difference, you're not dribbling, you're not moving with the ball.
You can't move with the ball, can you? Yeah. Okay. And what took you to men's netball?
Well, my friend, he played it, and he's like, oh, come and play. And my girlfriend plays it as well, so I was like, I'll give it a go, and just like that.
Okay. Amelie was talking about the atmosphere at the school within Castle Rushen. Happy? I mean, you think it's a good school?
I mean, yeah, atmosphere's all right. There's always going to be a few characters about, you could say, but the general people about
Which
school.
Which brings
nice.
me on to vaping.
Vaping.
Yes.
What about vaping?
Well, vaping or electronic cigarettes was supposed to be a way out of adult smoking, i.e. people who wanted to stop smoking vaped, and that would be that. It just seems that it's a way for young people to get into smoking.
Yeah, and I mean, well, it seems like that's more of their demographic, really, vapes. All these flavours and colours and all that, it seems more targeted at younger children. And
what's the attraction?
I don't vape, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's easy, and clearly people can get their hands on them quite easily.
But there's a law now that you're not supposed to be able to get them.
But everyone always finds a way, don't they?
Ben, what's your thoughts on vaping?
I think it's pretty bad, and just the fact that they have all these bright colours and all these flavours that don't mean anything. And I feel like I agree with Jacob. Just trying to entice young children into buying them.
Ruby?
I'm completely against it. I think it's quite prevalent within the younger years in schools, and as much as teachers try to sort of get it away, there's a lot of people that do it in bathrooms in school, and it's not the most ideal thing ever.
And obviously, off-school premises, there's nothing teachers can do.
No,
so people can walk away from school and start vaping.
Yeah, they definitely do. If you see within Castletown a bunch of younger students go in sort of year 10, year 11, you can see.
And again, I mean, that generation hasn't invented it. 40 years ago, 30 years ago, people would be lighting up a cigarette.
Yeah.
So obviously you have to be thankful for that. But, I mean, does the school say anything about it?
There's definitely anti-vaping policies, but obviously if it's in the bathrooms or in Castletown Square, there's not much that the teachers can do to prevent it.
Yeah. Well, Leisha, what do you think can be done you don't vape, do you, Leisha?
No, I don't.
Okay. I knew you didn't before I asked you. What are your thoughts on this about you? And again, young children vaping.
Well, yeah, I think it's pretty gross and it's becoming a bit of a big issue.
But why would they? Why would a 14-year-old or 15-year-old? Is it peer pressure? What is it?
I think it's become just a bit of a trend now.
Right.
And more and more people are just getting sucked into it because it's seen as cool or just like trendy to do it. I don't. Yeah.
But the health aspect, I mean, it's bad for you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So. All I'm saying is, I mean, lots of older people listen to Mannin Line. They just wonder why young people would choose to vape. Now, obviously, you don't vape, but why would you think younger children would think it's a good idea to vape?
I think it's more just like if their friends do it, then they'll do it, or it's more of they'll be influenced by the people around them, rather than thinking about, or being concerned for their own health. They just think this is cool, or this is fun, or it's just rebellious and something that you just get sucked into easily.
Have you got Spotify?
Yes.
Okay. And how much music do you listen to?
Quite a lot.
Quite a lot.
Yeah.
Are you on social media?
Yeah.
Everything?
A handful of things.
Okay. Do you listen to any radio at all?
Not really. Sometimes like true crime podcasts.
Right. So are you a podcast fan?
I listen to a few. I listen to more music than podcasts.
Okay. And what's your favourite music?
Oh, I don't really have a favourite. I listen to everything.
Okay. Ruby, do you listen to music?
I do.
Are you Spotify member?
Spotify, yeah.
Yeah. Do you pay for that yourself?
No.
Do you listen to radio at all?
No, not really. Like Leisha, I do listen to a few podcasts, true crime, and then around the election.
True crime?
Yeah.
One of those, and then they found the body things?
Yeah, so just all sorts, really.
Why true crime?
I want to go into law. I'm hopefully going to study law at university, so I find all of that quite interesting.
Right.
And the psychology behind criminals is another thing I found really interesting.
So is it criminal law you're looking to go into?
Hopefully, but I'm not too sure. I'll just have to see what I enjoy at uni, what modules are my favourite.
Okay, Tommy, do you have Spotify?
I do, yes.
You listen to much music?
Yeah, I listen to a lot of music.
And what's your favourite? Do you have a particular
bands
or types of music?
Typo Negative is my favourite, and Smiths as well. I love the Smiths.
The Smiths?
Yeah.
That's ancient.
It's good music, so...
That's good. Did you watch the Grammys at all?
I did not, though I've heard a lot about it.
Who watched the Grammys? Who knew about that? Amelie, did you know about the Kanye? And
I've seen a lot about that.
Kanye and was it his girlfriend?
I think they're married. Yeah.
Are they? Oh, we call him Ye now.
Apparently so.
Is he Ye?
Yay.
And this is Kanye, who turned up uninvited, and his girlfriend wore nothing. She was basically naked.
She started with a big fur coat on, I think.
Yeah.
And then there's rumours that he was whispering in her ear to do it, and then she just dropped the coat, and it was like completely sheer dress underneath, so she was basically naked at the
And they
Grammys.
got thrown out.
Yeah, I think she's been arrested for like public nudity.
Okay, well, there is a serious side to this, and and it fits in with the social media as well. What do young women think when they see that?
I just think it's such a bad influence. There's so much stuff on the internet that young girls can look at. I've got two younger sisters who are in year 8 and year 6 at school, and I just think they can see stuff like that online. And I don't know what goes through their heads, but I just think it's awful.
Have you ever spoken to them about it?
Not specifically the Grammys incident.
No, I mean into what they can see online.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very open about it, and they're quite down-to-earth young girls, so I think they know their boundaries, they know what's right and what's wrong. There's so much fake stuff on the internet, but I think they're clever enough to know that it's not all real and what they should believe and what they shouldn't.
And Lizzy, what do you think about that?
I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that's put on social media. I think a lot of it is photoshopped and unrealistic, and it does just put such unrealistic standards on young girls. I think it's really unfair. But like, I don't follow like influencers on social media. I just follow my friends because I don't agree with it. And a lot of these influencers that have now come around with like the increase in social media, they do it as a job and they post on social media and they get free things sent to them and stuff. And I don't like, there's lots of people in the world that need these free things and they're just sending it to these people who have loads of followers on social media.
And what do you think about, and again, going back to the Kanye West thing, you know, what would young women think who saw somebody famous walking around naked in that sort of situation? Because, I mean, the pressure on young women to conform to a certain look
it definitely
is
adds
enormous.
to the unrealistic beauty standards, I think, especially like a lot of photos and stuff like that are put out there.
But, Lizzy, what can be done about that?
There needs to be more restrictions, definitely, and I think an increased age limit on social medias. But then I think the age at the moment is 13, but there's always lots of possibility for people younger to get it. I think it was in Australia they increased a thing where you have to show ID when you download these apps. But like, my younger sister's had TikTok she's 11 now, she's had TikTok for a few years. And like, she used to like have nightmares and stuff all the time over these horrible videos she had seen and not told anyone about. And she's 11 and I still think she's too young to have it. There's no restriction at all on things that are posted on these apps, and you always come across horrible videos that have been allowed up.
Sacha, what do you think about that?
I didn't quite catch the end of that. I had a bit of a coughing
fit. You weren't realigning your spine, were you?
I wasn't.
Unrealistic expectations of young women because of images online.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of unrealistic expectations online, especially from what they were saying before. Oh, I need to cough again. I'm so sorry.
Have a good cough.
All right, I'm back.
Good. Unrealistic expectations.
There's a lot of unrealistic expectations. There is some for men, but it's mainly women, especially with the Kanye situation. Also, the thing of they see like a huge celebrity like Kanye is, and the way he like degrades her.
And do you think that's irresponsible of Kanye to do that?
It's very irresponsible because it kind of shows younger women that they can be treated like that.
Yeah.
And it's not really okay.
To basically objectify them and just...
Yeah.
But I mean, this is your generation, Sacha. As you grow up, you will remember this when you were, 16 and 17 years of age. And I just wonder where it's going to end. Because if that sort of pornography is allowed online, what's it going to do to young people's, men and women's expectations?
It's just going to influence them and make them think that it's okay to do that and act like that and show things like that online.
Jacob, what's your thought on that?
Well, similar to everyone else, it's not a good thing. It shouldn't be happening. And it's like social media and expectations, all that, it ruining younger generations' views on things, whether either not only just looks, but how they should act and different aspects of their lives.
Have you ever reacted to an influencer on TikTok or Instagram or anything like that? Have you ever bought anything because of an influencer?
No, I think it's a load of rubbish, really.
So it doesn't cut through with you at all?
No, I mean, I think a lot of it depends who you are, really. It's common sense, really. You just got to kind of pick through what you're looking at and choose what you take in. Okay.
I was going to talk to Ben. Whereabouts do you live, Ben? In Castletown?
Port St Mary.
Port St Mary.
Yeah.
The facilities for young people in the south of the Isle of Man, what is there to do?
What, like sports?
Sport or entertainment. What is there to do?
Yeah, there's lots to do, I think. Like, there's the Nomads down in Port Erin, near Port Erin. There's there's numerous football teams that you can join.
In terms of entertainment, is there anything because in Douglas you've got nightclubs. Is there a nightclub there's one in Port Erin, isn't there?
I'm not too sure.
Okay, you're not a nightclub person at all.
No,
of course you're 16.
I'm only 16, so I don't. Yeah.
Well, you're in that difficult age between youth clubs and pubs and clubs and what have you.
Yeah, there is loads of youth clubs like around the place in the south. Yeah,
okay.
There's one in Port Erin.
And do you drive?
Not yet. I'm learning to drive.
You're learning, and how much are you paying for a driving lesson?
£45, I think it is.
45. How many have you had? Do you know?
Just the one. I've only started last Friday.
Okay. Were you on a list?
I was.
How long were you on the list for?
Since I was like 14, I think. 14, 15.
So you were on a list for 2 years before you had your first driving lesson?
Yeah.
And again, many people find that inconceivable, the fact that you just can't do that. So whose car are you driving?
What, with the driving instructor? Mike Phillips. I'm getting lessons with him.
Yeah. Is he good?
He's very good, yeah. I've known him. He's my mate's dad. So
right.
I know him for a while. Yeah.
Okay. Did we talk about university with you?
No, not yet.
What are you hoping to do?
Hopefully history. Hopefully, yeah.
And do you know any particular university you're looking at?
Maybe I really like the city of Cardiff, so maybe Cardiff or Chester.
Right, okay. And we talked about Manx politics. You, along with everybody else, weren't very much into Manx politics. And again, that's important. It's important simply because you are a voter. You will be a taxpayer if you come back to the Isle of Man. Would you? I mean, it's a long way to look ahead. But when you finish university, do you think you will be coming back to the Isle of Man?
Yeah, probably, because all my family's here and everything. So I'll probably just come.
Because lots of people stay away when they have the university experience across, never come back to the Isle of Man.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll see how I like it when I'm in uni, away from my family.
Why Cardiff, by the way?
I really like the city. I went to go see Billy Joel there last year, and I just really like the city. So.
Billy Joel?
Yeah.
Right, so Tom likes the Smiths and you like Billy Joel?
Yeah, well, I like the Smiths as well. I like everything, really, so, yeah.
And are you on Spotify?
I'm on Apple Music.
Okay, and where do you just get stuff that's sent to you and they suggest tracks, don't they? They suggest various tracks that you like.
Yeah. Well, no, I get a lot of my music taste from my dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Billy Joel did start 50 years ago.
He did, yeah.
And is your dad's a Billy Joel fan?
Well, not really, but just a lot of the music that I've got from him. A lot of the music I got from him kind of like varied off, and then I started listening to Billy Joel.
Are you in Sister Act?
I'm not in Sister
Act. You're not
no.
in Sister Act.
I did take drama for GCSE though.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Are you in Sister Act, Tom?
I'm not in Sister Act, no.
Okay. Have you ever done any drama here at all?
Not at Castle Rushen, no.
Oh, okay. So what were the schools like in the BVI, by the way, apart from Sunny?
It was an international baccalaureate school. So,
right.
But obviously I wasn't old enough at the time. It was just a primary school.
Okay. Have you ever been back subsequently?
No, I have not.
Okay.
It would have been a big trip.
Okay. Leisha, in terms of international politics, Donald Trump is talking about finishing the war in Ukraine. And the war in Ukraine is very much on the back burner. Do you pay any attention to the war in Ukraine? Is it something you think about?
I think when it was spoken more about in the news and on media, I was sort of just, I was keeping up to date with it then. Yeah. But now that it's sort of less spoken about, not so much.
Yeah. Because, Ruby, there is a war going on. It is there in the background. And it's almost like we've become used to the fact that there's a war. People are still getting killed all the time. Do you think much about Ukraine? Does it...
Again, like Leisha said, I thought about it more when it was more in the news. But again, I don't think there's too much being taught to people our age. Like, Manx politics, nothing is ever said. And I think there should be more sort of lessons given about that.
Yeah.
And I think it sort of shows that we couldn't really name many MHKs, and that's due to a lack of education in the topic.
Recently, there was the Holocaust Memorial. Was there anything done at Castle Rushen High School for it?
Yes, so within our tutorial lesson, which is at the start of the day, we had a talk about it and we spoke about everyone that died. And then I know the two head boys, Louis and Sam, went to a memorial in Douglas on the Sunday. So that was done.
Yeah, okay. Let's go back to Sacha as well. Sacha, international politics. Is there anything you pay attention to on the international stage?
I'm not really there with politics. It's not my full interest.
When was the last time you read a newspaper, an actual newspaper?
Ooh. I can't remember the last time I read one, but I'm always around newspapers because my nan still uses newspapers because she can't really use phones.
Do you watch news at all? I mean, do you get news off your phone? Do you look at the news at all?
I do get news alerts on my phone quite often.
Okay. I mean, it's not compulsory. You don't have to. You are, 16, 17 years of age. News doesn't have to be that important. I'm just interested. Amelie, do you watch the news at all? Do you buy a newspaper or have you read a newspaper?
Not really. I'm actually ashamed to say. I don't know much about politics, but I'm going to study politics, philosophy and economics at university. So I should definitely be more up to date than I am.
What are you hoping to use PPE for?
I actually have no idea. It was kind of a last minute pick of what I wanted to do. I just knew I really wanted to go to university this year, and I've always been interested in the economic side. I do that for A-level, and philosophy sounds interesting, and politics was just kind of an extra add-on, so I need to get more into it.
Have you done university visits yet?
We went for a school trip last year. Every year 12 group goes, so I went to visit a few, and the ones that I visited that I've applied for are Uni of Manchester and Uni of Liverpool, and some other people visited Manchester Metropolitan, which I've applied for as well.
Okay, and Lizzy, whereabouts were you looking?
I'm not going to university. I'm staying on island.
Okay, to do what?
I'm hoping to work in financial crime.
You work for the financial crime sector over here?
Yes, hopefully.
Why does that interest you?
Well, I've always been really interested in crime. At first I wanted to be a lawyer, so I was going to go to university and decided that wasn't for me. So then I looked at the police force, but I didn't like that the pay is capped, so I moved on from that. And then I just kind of discovered the idea of financial crime, and I thought that was good for me because I was always interested in the crime aspect, but I liked the balance of kind of an office-based corporate job, so I liked that there was a mix of both of it in financial crime, and once I read into it, it was really for me. And I had a look on the Isle of Man government's website, and they've got the financial crime 2025-26 strategy, and I was just really interested by the processes they'd outlined.
And do you listen to true crime podcasts at all?
Yeah, I always find documentaries.
All right, we've been with Lizzy, we've been with Amelie, Sacha and her back alignment, and Jacob and Ben and Tom and Ruby and Leisha. Thanks to Chris Quirk and Matty Cunningham. I've been Andy Wint. We've been live today at Castle Rushen High School.